In the heart of America, in a small city called Wichita, Kansas, people felt safe. It was the kind of place where families left their doors unlocked, where neighbors greeted each other warmly, and where life moved quietly. But behind this curtain of normalcy, a shadow lurked, a predator who had stalked this community for decades, a man who gave himself a name, BTK, bind, torture, kill. To his family, he was Dennis Rader, a devoted husband, a father of two, a respected church leader. To his victims, he was a living nightmare. To the world, he became one of the most infamous serial killers in history. This is not just the story of a killer, it is the story of how a man hid in plain sight, how a city lived in terror, and how arrogance, his own need to be recognized, finally brought him down. This is the story of Dennis Rader, the BTK killer. But before he became BTK, he was just Dennis, a boy from Kansas already hiding dark fantasies that no one could see. Fantasies that would soon turn into something deadly. Dennis Lynn Rader was born on March 9, 1945 in Pittsburgh, Kansas. On the outside, his childhood appeared ordinary. He grew up in a working-class family with 3 brothers, a mother, and a father who worked long hours. But behind this image of simplicity, something darker was brewing. Even as a child, Dennis displayed troubling behavior. He would hang stray animals, fantasize about capturing and controlling women, and retreat into disturbing thoughts. He admitted later in life that from as early as grade school, he was plagued by what he called Factor X, a dark, compulsive force inside him that demanded control, bondage, and death. While other children played outside, Dennis dreamed of power, binding, gagging, and torturing. He found himself aroused by images of women in bondage magazines and by his own fantasies of trapping his victims. These desires, secret and shameful, became the foundation of his double life. As he grew older, Dennis learned to hide this darkness. Outwardly, he was quiet, polite, a bit awkward, nothing more, but deep inside, the BTK killer was already being born. On the morning of January 15th, 1974, Dennis Rader put his fantasies into action. He chose a home, the Otero family residence. Inside lived Joseph and Julie Otero and their children, Joseph Jr., age 9, and Josephine, just 11. Dennis broke into the house, armed with a pistol, rope, and a plan. He told the family it was just a robbery, but it wasn't. One by one, he tied them up. He bound their wrists, gagged their mouths, and forced them onto the floor. He strangled Joseph and Julie in front of their children. He then turned to 9-year-old Joseph Jr., ending his young life with cold brutality. And finally, 11-year-old Josephine. Dennis would later describe and chill in detail how he hung the little girl in the basement, watching as her life slipped away. It was the beginning of his reign of terror. When police discovered the crime scene, it was unlike anything they had seen before. A family slaughtered in their own home. Wichita, Kansas, a town that once felt safe, was now living in fear. The Otero murders shocked the city, but what made them unforgettable was what came next. Dennis Rader wanted recognition. He needed the world to know it was him, so he began to write letters. Detailed, graphic letters sent to police and newspapers describing his crimes. In one message, he spelled it out clearly. He signed it with 3 letters, B-T, K-bind, torture, kill, a name that would terrify Wichita for years to come. He wasn't just killing, he was playing a game, taunting police, bragging about his control, mocking their inability to stop him. It wasn't enough to murder. He needed fame. He needed to be remembered. Over the next 17 years, BTK struck again and again. Catherine Bright, Shirley Vian, Nancy Fox, Maureen Hedge, Vicky Wagle, Dolores Davis. 10 confirmed victims in total. Each murder followed his twisted ritual: stalking, binding, torturing, and finally killing. Each victim carefully chosen, watched for days or weeks until he was ready to strike. Rader would later describe the hunt as a game. He called it projects. He planned each one meticulously. He carried a hit kit, ropes, tape, weapons, ready to strike whenever the opportunity appeared. And after each kill, he relived the moment again and again, taking souvenirs, photographing his victims, and keeping detailed notes in secret journals. For Wichita, it was a nightmare. Women lived in terror. Families locked their doors. Rumors spread with every new murder. BTK was out there somewhere, watching, waiting. And then, silence. After 1991, the murders stopped. No letters, no victims, nothing. Many believed BTK was dead or imprisoned for another crime. For over a decade, he simply disappeared. But Dennis Rader hadn't vanished. He was still in Wichita, still in plain sight. By day, he was a church council president, a Boy Scout leader, a loving father. He lived in the same town he terrorized, hiding his darkness beneath the mask of an ordinary man. BTK wasn't gone. He was just waiting. After more than 10 years of silence, BTK returned. He couldn't resist the need for attention. He began sending letters again. Packages filled with dolls bound like his victims, drawings and cryptic messages. The city's nightmare was back. But this time, his arrogance betrayed him. In 2005, he sent a floppy disk to a TV station. He thought it was untraceable, but digital forensics revealed the truth. The disk had been used at Christ Lutheran Church by Dennis Rader. After 30 years, BTK was caught. The mask had finally fallen. In court, Dennis Rader confessed in shocking detail. He described each murder as if it were routine. His tone was cold, detached, as if he were discussing chores. He relived the Otero murders, Nancy Fox, Vicky Wagle, step by step, rope by rope. He showed no remorse, only pride in his projects. The world saw him for what he truly was: a man who lived a double life, a devoted family man, and a sadistic killer. In August 2005, Dennis Rader was sentenced to 10 consecutive life terms, 175 years in prison. He will never walk free again. The BTK case remains one of the most haunting in American history. For decades, a killer lived among ordinary people, blending into daily life, hiding behind a mask of normalcy. His story forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth. Sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones who look just like us. Dennis Rader called himself BTK: bind, torture, kill. But to his victims and to the world, he's a reminder of how evil can hide in plain sight.